Or
the bell.
we can't say that. Somebody has that already, I feel like.
All right, let's get into it. So, Angie Hill versus Ashley Yoder. So, who do you have?
I have Ashley Yoder at first round
Oh, first of all,
TKO.
I was going to ask, are you
Yes.
married to anyone?
Uh,
I like the back forth.
okay, cool. I guess you asked me, so I'll go first. Like I said, I have Ashley Yoder first round TKO. I'm not really well too versed on both of these. I'm learning more and more about them as they're continuing to fight. I know Angela Hill's a great fighter. You introduced me to her, not too long ago. So I've been watching highlights. So I know what she can do. Ashley Yoder is super pretty. So I mean, so I'm stupid, So I have Ashley Yoder first round knockout. What do you? What do you? I'm so
Well, I
stupid.
can see that the button up is for her.
Yeah, of course. TBC hashtag Top Button Crew hashtag JLG Kill. We got that.
Yeah, Angie's been on a tear, even though she's coming off of a loss. It's a split decision loss, and I thought she won it. It was a really close fight.
Who did she fight? Do you remember off the top of your head? Okay.
It was Michelle Waterford.
Oh, you know what? I think you're right. I think we watched that fight together. Yeah.
So this fight is, I believe, a last-minute replacement of Tisha Torres. That's actually Yoder stepping in.
Okay.
To fight Andrew Hill. So Yoder coming in as a last-minute replacement for me is like all the pressure's off, and this is a rematch. They fought. I want to say, I think I wrote it down 4 years ago, the tough finale. So Angie got a decision win, but when you're 4 years ago, a lot of time it goes in between. Like,
sure.
I think that she can pull out a win. So I picked a third round submission because I kind of had the same mentality as you of like that was like
hey man, if it's a good bet, it's a good bet.
And not only that, Yoder is, if she gets a hold of you, she's sticky, so she can submit Angie, and Angie knows that.
Gotcha.
Angie needs to keep it on her feet. So if Angie can keep it on her feet, I think Angie could either get a TKO or a decision win if she can't put her away.
Okay.
But if Yoder can kind of make it dirty and make it a fight and kind of get it to the ground, I think that she can maybe edge a decision or a submission. So that's why I'm going submission third round for Ashley Yoder.
Cool.
For verdict, for my heart, I'm going with Angela Hill. I want her to win because I do think she's going to be champion one day. I think she is champion. I think she'll be champion one day. Some bullshit decisions that fuck people's careers up. It is what it is. But let's get on to the next one. So this one is interesting. We have Thiago Moises versus Alexander Hernandez. Why don't you go ahead and take it?
Yeah, no, this is the one that was just added. I actually just learned about it because Verdict informed me a few minutes ago at the change. So I know Thiago Moises is a beast. I know on the ground he's super dangerous, but I know Alexander Hernandez has a bunch of finishes, if I'm not mistaken, by submission as well. So
he's also knocked out Benny Darush.
That's right. You mentioned that to me the other day as well. That's
and he's also been TKO'd by Cowboy Cerrone.
Oh shit! I did. Oh man.
So he has been stopped. Not to say that anyone can't be stopped. It is the fight game. Anyone can be stopped at any given time.
Mm-hmm.
So this is going to be a fun fight. I don't think this is going to be a technical fight. I think this is just going to be a really fun fight between the two.
You think it's going to be like a dogfight style or more just fun?
I think it depends on. We'll see. It just because Hernandez has. I think Moises will take the edge, but Hernandez has the ability to knock your fucking lights out. But we've seen him get stopped before, so we'll see if Moises can power through. Because that's what happens sometimes with these young fighters is that they're not seasoned, and they just don't have enough cage time or that experience in the cage to really know how to just go. So we'll see. But yeah, I think I have Moises coming out with a submission because I think if anything, if he's going to win by stoppage, I think it is if he gets it to the ground because I don't see him getting a TK over Hernandez. I think Hernandez will win if he keeps it on the feet. Kind of same thing as the first fight, almost an identical breakdown. But Hernandez is no punk on the ground. He isn't. So if you can't submit him, it'll probably be a decision. But I'm going second round submission for Moises. That's how I see it. That's how I see it happening.
All right. I mean, I got Hernandez first round submission only because of that same reason we just went over.
Optimistic.
It's a good bet with the multiplier. So I only have 100 XP on this fight. So the upside is huge. Almost 4K. So I mean, I'm just excited. Like you said, it sounds like it's gonna be a fun fight. So I'm just excited.
That one should be a fun one. That one's not going to be a technical one, but that one's going to be a fun one. The Angela Hill and the Yoder fight should be fun as well. But that one's going to be fun. Next, we have Alex Bruce Leroy Caceres versus Kevin Croom. So Bruce Leroy,
Bruce
baby,
Leroy, hell yeah, first round
he's been doing the damn
TKO.
thing for that. That's what you have?
Yes.
Okay. I have Kevin Croom coming in as first round submission. That's
Oh
shit.
shit!
I don't know much about Croom, to be honest, because it looks like he only has one fight in the UFC. And it was a no contest, and it was only like 30 seconds in. I forget what happened. I forget. I vaguely remember seeing him, but I'm excited to see him back. And I was just looking at his record, and of the 21 wins he has, 10 of them are submissions. So I said, you know what? Fuck it. I'm just gonna do first round submission against Bruce Leroy Caceres, since Bruce Leroy. Not that he can't defend a submission, but I just said, you know what? Fuck it. Let's just see what happens. So that's what I'm going with. It is 1670 payout for just about 100. So it's not too bad. So I'm going with Croom first round submission, even though Caceres is no punk. He's a vet. He's been doing the damn thing for a long time. If Caceres can, I don't know. This is going to be a tough fight for Caceres. He's always fun to watch. He's got that karate style. So I'm excited. Who do you have?
That tricky shit. I had blue. I have shit for brains is what I have. I have Alex Caceres, Bruce Leroy, first round TKO. That's who I have.
Okay.
The bet for Kevin Croom, that's not bad either. That's so I'm getting paid out $15.85 for mine, but $16.70 for you. So that's a good bet. That's a good bet. I'm excited for that one.
It's pretty even to see who's going to get paid out depending on which one of us.
Yeah. No, I'm just excited that because a lot of these fighters I'm not too familiar, so I get more
learning who they are. Because here's the thing, I've been watching UFC forever. I don't know everyone either.
Yeah. No, I was just saying, like, I start to learn more about these fighters just during fight week because they put all these like highlights and shit out, like their knockout reels and things.
The clip notes.
Yeah. So, but I feel like sometimes maybe they like push certain like highlight videos on purpose to maybe like sway you, like, oh, they'll show like all of Jairzinho's like most brutal knockouts in a row, and then maybe they'll show like 2 of Gagne's submissions, So I don't know, something like that. I feel like maybe they'll like.
Well, they're only showing you what the UFC owns.
Oh, okay,
So,
that's also true. I didn't think of it that way. They might not, because he's
levels or whatever. They're not going to show like 40p cell phones, in the backwoods of some Kenyan like.
Turn up the upscale. They just.
So yeah, like I know what you mean, but yeah, they only show like what has happened.
Yeah, because I've seen all kinds of Rosenstruck stuff, and then it got me playing with my mind. I'm like, oh man, Rose, should I like? Yeah, I'm like, oh no, get out of your head. So anyway, we'll get there. We'll get there though. But I know the next one you're excited about. You're like super excited about this one.
This one. So this one's gonna be fight of the night contender. This one's also a rematch. Who won? I think Pedro Munoz lost. So Jimmy Rivera won split decision, I want to say, the first time that they fought, if I am not mistaken. And this is going to be another good one. The fact that this was 6 years ago, so this is another interesting one. No fights are the same. No matter how many times that they're a rematch, no 2 fights are the same.
Sure.
So this 6 years apart is going to be fun. Munoz is a fucking savage. We've all seen that. We know that he can take your fucking lights out at any second. So he can end the fight at any given moment. So can Jimmy Rivera. I don't really see, unless someone gets clipped and knocked out between the 2 of them, I don't see either guy really getting like a TKO like stoppage. Unless it's, like I said, a clean knockout. I don't see either guy really getting a submission. I think this is going to be a high level technical war, and I see Jimmy Rivera getting another decision win, and that's what I am betting. And that's how I see it go. That's
oh man, you almost got me wanting to change, but I think I'm gonna stick. Like I said, I'm gonna be on mine, and I'm gonna stay consistent. I have Pedro.
I want to switch so hard.
I have Pedro Munoz by knockout.
I could see that happening.
Yeah.
What round do you have?
I mean, I'm just gonna put first. I always put first. It doesn't really matter 100 XP, but I always put first. Whatever.
Dude, I agree with you, man, because he has that power. He has that power. He can turn your lights off at any moment.
Yeah,
so.
And that was one of those where I was swayed by the highlight reels I was seeing. I was just like, ooh! I was like, Pedro Munoz again. I submit.
Yeah. He's the one against him and Cody Garbrandt. Yeah, I mean that's not a good one. It looks good for Munoz because of who Cody Garbrandt is.
Sure,
It's not taking anything away from Cody or Pedro. It's just Cody wasn't who Cody is. So that's for a different time. But yeah, this fight's gonna be fun, man. I cannot wait. That's my fight of the night contender. On the prelims, probably maybe Angie or maybe the Alexander Hernandez fight and Moises fight might be. There's actually a light heavyweight fight we can get to later, and a couple other things I want to talk to you about. But to continue on with the main card, we have your which number wife is this? Be careful with how you how you word it.
So we're just seeing each other. You know, this is a recent thing. You know, we just met Montana de la Rosa. I have her by first round knockout.
Okay, Montana de la Rosa.
And
I have your wife winning by decision.
Okay.
I just see it being a good fight. We'll see what happens. You know, nothing to.
It's important to note that I have 200 on the Ashley Yoder Angela Hill fight. Okay. I also have 200 on the De La Rosa Bueno Silva fight that we're talking about as well. So I don't have all of my chips in one basket on this card.
Okay, I see. You're splitting between. That must make them feel great that you're splitting between both of them. That you don't have all your eggs in either basket.
I mean, it's 2021, right? Like we're all about like progressive, equal opportunity, and all that shit, right? So I'm just. Sure. I feel like I'm doing my part. You know, like hashtag UPS. What can Brown do for you? You know what I'm saying?
It could do a lot of things apparently. It could, you know, lead you on. It could, you know.
I am so excited for this next fight, dude. I am. So this is the one. This is the one that I'm the most excited about. Magomed Ankalaev, dude, freaking monster, monster.
So you see him as the next, not next, but future light heavyweight.
Future champion, 100%. Future champion, 100%. Light heavyweight, correct.
Yeah.
Against a monster Nikita Krylov.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah. Krylov is a So this is no punk of a fight, but the way that it seems to be going for Magomed lately, it seems to just be murdering people. I don't know. It's hard to go against any round knockout with him. He's just on a tear. And some of these guys that are coming out of the woodworks, I don't know, are like the Habibs and the Zabits, Gomez, and the Umars.
All the Gomedovs. Anything Gomedov.
All those guys, they're coming out of the mountains over there, and it's just a scary, dark place in the mountains. They figured out how to survive, not just survive, but thrive, and then make it over to the UFC and start eating everyone. So, I agree with you. I think that one's going. I love to see greatness rise, and I love to see it rise at the proper level, and I love to see him in a co-main spot. That one's going to be fun. I do think it's going to be a second round knockout TKO.
Ooh, okay.
First round, we'll see what happens, and then second round TKO for Magomed. Probably knockout.
I have Magomed by submission, and I'm betting 400 on a submission.
Okay. What makes you feel a submission?
I don't know. I just feel like he's against somebody like Nikita, who's not afraid to just.
I think Krylov would probably get a submission over Magomed.
You think so?
I don't know. Probably.
I guess from my perspective, from the the fights fight highlights I've seen of Nikita.
The cliff notes?
He's not, the cliff notes, I guess, the cliff videos, cliff clips, cliff highlights. He's not afraid to stand and bang. He's not afraid to take damage, dude. He has a chin like Usman, so we don't know what's going on there. But I don't know, man. I just feel like their two styles, Magomed will look for the takedown. I don't think he'll risk. Especially with his style, Magomed has that same kind of.
Yeah. We'll see if he can get.
I don't know, man. Plus, I mean, it's a good multiplier. So if I get that's almost 11K on that one. So experience, of course. So.
Okay. I feel pretty confident, and so far talking them through with you, that I'm going to keep these.
I'm also very confident going into this. So
we say this a lot. Only the second time that we've done this on camera between the two of us, but we have done this for a while.
Hey, miss.
So this is fun. All right, let's get into it. The main
event, which
kind of ties into what I've been talking about all week, the heavyweight. So this is finally a heavyweight contender fight that makes sense, not for a number one contender or anything, but that just kind of is new blood, new people, you know, not just the same people, not this logjam, not this anything. Finally, the winner of this will go on to fight, hopefully, Derek Lewis or the whoever. I don't think this is a number one contender fight. I think this is one away, maybe two away at most from a number one contender fight. The reason why I don't like, not to say that it doesn't make sense, the reason why I don't like it, just to sum that up, is because, like, I don't like the 5-round main events. It's like, how many 5-round, because no matter what, it's a 5-round main event, even if there's a belt attached to it or not, it's still 5 rounds. It sucks, dude. That's why I said, like how many 5-round main events are you gonna fight for a number one contender spot within the top 3 before you actually fight a 5-round main event for the belt? So this one is a 5-round main event for not the number one contender spot, but potentially maybe to fight Derek Lewis if he doesn't get that Overeem spot. So
yeah,
I like
if he doesn't get Overeem to clap them cheeks for 3 rounds. Only 3 rounds though. Three.
Yeah, Derek Lewis needs to be the co-main event for whoever's fighting for the heavyweight title. That's what they need.
That's the perfect spot for him.
So let's say, okay, here I got it. It's going to be the winner of this fight, Biggie Boy and Gagne. The winner of this fight versus Derek Lewis for the co-main 3-round fight against the winner of Ngannou-Stipe versus Jones. And then the winner of Ngannou-Stipe versus Jones will fight the winner of Blades and then Rozenstruik-Gagne, and for the ultimate winner takes all, probably Jon Jones versus...
Probably Stipe versus...
I don't know.
Well, we'll get into that. I know we're always going to be... Hey, funny enough, a small little tangent. A video was just released on Jon Jones sparring, and not sparring, but like testing out his new frame, so to speak. Pad work, in the cage, you know. He looks pretty decent. I don't know, man. He's a little sluggish. I don't want to talk shit. I mean, I'm just looking at, like, because I've seen Jon Jones in the cage, you know. We've seen him. I don't know if it's just like he's just playing around, but I don't know. We'll see. All right,
let's get into the main event. We had Biggie Boy versus Gun. So this is a great fight. I see it going. Honestly, so this is what I did to research for this fight. I just watched Biggie Boy versus Junior Dos Santos, and then I watched Ciryl Gane versus Junior Dos Santos. I just watched those 2 fights recently. I think Biggie Boy is going to win by decision. I don't think he's going to be able to put Gagne out. I think Gagne is going to be tough enough and has good enough stand-up and takedown defense and everything else. Not that he's going to have to worry about the takedown with Biggie Boy, because I think, if anything, Ciryl Gane is going to try to look for the takedown and try to win by submission, because Biggie Boy's stand-up is much better than Gagne's. Not to say that he can't stand with him, but Biggie Boy's got that power. He really does. And even though he's Francis Ngannou, Gagne is Francis Ngannou's former training partner, that doesn't necessarily mean he is Francis Ngannou and has the same power.
Sure. No, that's a good point.
So I can see both guys are durable. Both guys can take it, unless you're, taking a punch from Francis Ngannou, then it doesn't really matter.
That's fair.
Who you are. So I can see this going a 5-round decision. We've seen Biggie Boy go 5 rounds with Overeem and stop him in the last couple of seconds. So he's got power all the way through to the 5th. I just see Ciryl Gane being durable enough to make it through. Biggie Boy might be the test to him that kind of stops, not the hype, but just kind of is the next level for him to. I don't know. This is gonna be a fun fight. This is gonna be a really good one.
Yeah, man.
So I'm taking Biggie Boy by decision is my pick, but I think if Ciryl Gane is going to win, he needs to figure out a way to get inside Biggie Boy's check hooks and leg kicks and try to take it to the ground and wear him down and try to tire him out. Maybe get a mount TKO or submission. He'll probably look for a submission in my pick, but I am going with decision for Biggie Boy. So what do you have, man?
I have Ciryl Gane by knockout. I think we're gonna see mostly a stand-up striking competition between the two, with Rozenstruik's kickboxing background with I think almost 100 fights or something like that, crazy amount of kickboxing fights. And then with Gane's Muay Thai background, he's undefeated in Muay Thai. So I don't know, man. I was watching his interview today where he was answering questions with the press, and he was saying he wants to show a display of skill. you know,
Sure.
and he was referencing both of their stand-ups. I don't know, man. I don't think there's gonna be much groundwork. I don't think Gagne is gonna look for the takedown as much as you think. But hey, I may be wrong.
I don't think it's in his game plan. I think I think Biggie Boy's stand-up's going to be too much. Not in the beginning or right away, but overall within a 5-round fight, I think his stand-up's going to be too much, and he's going to start looking for the takedown comes round 2, 3, 4. That's what I'm thinking. I don't know how it's exactly going to pan out.
So you think for Gagne, he needs to do it quicker rather than later, if he has any sort of.
Oh yeah.
I mean, get him to the ground. I mean, quicker rather than later.
You're dry and you're better on. You know,
sure, you're not like slippery, like all oily.
Yeah, so there's always like an advantage, but yeah, I just think that his best, not to say his only chance, his best chance, in my opinion, would be to get it to the ground and look for the submission. And I think Biggie Boy's winning is the stand-up, and the reason why I picked decision is because I just feel like both guys are just so durable.
They are, you know, you're right.
Even though they are heavyweights, you never fucking know, dude. We might just see a double knockout. Who the fuck knows? That happened at Bellator, almost with Matt Mitrione and Fedor. They knocked each other on each other's asses.
Oh yeah.
It is what it is. Even the legends happen. So you never know with heavyweights, but yeah, that's kind of my quick breakdown of how I can see both guys winning, or their best success at winning or to win. So, but I just think Biggie Boy, yeah, man, he's terrifying.
They're both terrifying. Have you seen how big Cyril Gagne is compared to? Okay, so Rosenstruck weighs more than Gagne.
I understand, but have you heard him talk? He's just like a big teddy bear. He's like a big French teddy bear.
Cyril or Rosenstruck?
Cyril Gagne.
Oh yeah, he's like the nicest freaking guy ever. Yeah. He's like, oh, thank you.
You hear him talk, and you're just like, oh.
He's like, oh, thank you.
You just want to like cuddle on him, but then you don't. Kind of like gay and weird. But you know what I mean? But you would.
Nah,
yeah?
I know.
Okay, you feel me?
I feel
You'd have to if he said to.
I mean, I feel like if he told me give me a hug, I'd be obligated to give him a hug.
If he told you to hold his pocket, you'd have to hold his pocket.
Yeah. I mean, I'm probably gonna like be reluctant at first. I'm not just gonna like go for the man's pockets, but you know. Cyril Gagne looks like he has a big Gagne, you know. I don't wanna...
You know what I mean?
I don't know. Remember Kevin Hart's joke about Shaq when he's standing next to him?
Hey, man. That would suck, dude. You know, those things I don't think of when being short.
Yeah, see, dude, it's scary down here.
I'm sorry. It's a different level of PTSD. All right, so who do you have? You have gone by first round, you said? TKO?
I mean, like you said, it really doesn't matter since the round really doesn't matter, but I have him by TKO.
So how do you actually see this fight happening, playing out? Like, how do you see if it isn't a first round? How do you see it?
I see like a first round feeler between the two, kind of like a feeling out process, technical feeling out process. Mm-hmm. And then I think the second round, both of them are coming.
All right, so before we wrap this fucking thing up, so I have Biggie Boy as a decision, and you have gone by TKO, KO. Doesn't matter what round. You just think he's gonna get it done.
I think he's gonna get it done.
I think it's gonna be a great fight. This is gonna be fun to see what happens. I'm excited to see who wins because I would love to talk about what happens next because you know me, I love to talk about the heavyweight division. It's been too stagnant for too long, and this is a great fight to get that heavyweight division moving again. So before we go, those are our picks for the pre-fight show. We will see how we do afterwards, and that video will be up Monday by 10 a.m. right?
Monday 10 a.m.
How we did for our post-fight, and then there's a couple things that happened. So to kind of tie into the video that I posted, or you posted, or we posted, whatever the fuck we're doing. On the weight cutting, right? The issues of weight cutting and just the debate of bringing up the conversation of missing weight and that whole debacle of how we could not fix it, but at least have the conversation to get the ball moving of how to implement different things to try to help. Maxim Grishin missed weight by 4.5 pounds. He weighed in at 210.5 for his light heavyweight bout versus Dustin Jacoby light heavyweight. You know, it is what it is. It doesn't matter. You need to make weight, and part of the job. We've talked about it, and that's why the video's up. Not to say that I have all the answers by any means, but there's just, you know, I like to have the conversation as to, like, hey, there's a lot of things that are happening that now it's just, it kind of taints the fight a little bit, you know. Like, what do you think? How do you feel about when from an outside perspective, when someone misses weight like that? I mean, does it matter for you, especially at the bigger weights? Because sometimes I feel where it's just like, it's just that weight right before heavyweight. I feel like not many people look at it as a big deal when it's a big fucking deal, man. Because Dustin Jacoby, he made weight, and he made weight at 204.5, so he was under the 205 limit. So he did what he had to do, and this is what I was saying before. Was just like, if you don't have to cut that extra 4.5 to 5 pounds, that depletion on your body is huge for your performance, or could potentially. So this is, you know, it just kind of all goes in the same with my arguments. And I wanted to bring it up because it's another missed weight on this fight card, and it's just, we have to point it out, because this whole 20% or 30% of the purse obviously isn't enough for these guys to stop doing what they're doing. Because, I mean, I understand we're human, and it's always going to be an issue eventually with every person. Like, you know, it is what it is. But by implementing something should help minimize or lessen it.
Sure.
I mean, what do you think?
I mean, based on what I personally think, I don't see it as too big of a deal when neither of them are really weighing in what they're supposed to weigh on fight day anyway. I understand, like, yeah, he because, like, it is what it is, right? The rules say you have to weigh under, the rules are this, you have to weigh under a certain amount, you know, and he got taxed 30% for it. So, I mean, that's the consequence that the UFC contract has laid out. He missed. He's gonna pay for it. I mean, he's gonna, like, literally pay for it. You know, it sucks. It does suck. I mean, but to sweeten the deal on the other guy's part, he's getting 30%. I mean, it is what it is. It sucks, but, you know, does it really make, like, that big of a difference on the actual fight day when they're like, when you wait, like,
look at the data? Yes, if you look at the data, I think it's like 70 or 80+%, something along that. The people who miss weight tend to win the fights. Doesn't matter how, they just tend to win. It's not to say because they're bigger or whatever, but
just statistically speaking, when you look at it.
Statistically speaking, whatever that is, if your body's not depleted, if your body's not dehydrated, if your body's not whatever, and your opponent's body is, then that's an advantage. You know, like when I told you that Joe Rogan calls it sanctioned cheating, and you're like, you know, I actually agree with that. Wouldn't you agree more that someone who made weight fighting someone who on paper actually didn't make weight, and you know how bullshit it is when they both make weight, because on fight day neither one of them are that weight that they made, that you know that on paper one person is, what, say, let's use this one, 204.5 and 210, you're like, these guys aren't even the same fucking weight on paper. So this is to prove your point, like, what is it that we're doing? Why do we have to make weight in general? I like your concept with making weight, with, like, hey, if we're gonna make weight, then that's the weight. It has to be fight in weight, not like cut down weight. It should be fight in weight, and whatever fight in weight at, I guess that is a different word for hydrated weight, I guess. Right?
I mean, I'm sure there's gonna be science protocols when you apply it and all that, but yes, more or less in layman's terms, yeah. Absolutely.
So, yeah, that's basically what it seems like is happening. Is like, now that you have a sanctioned fight where they're just like, oh, as long as he can give up some money, but it's just like, why do we keep throwing money at things when it's like, well, no. He depleted his body, those extra 4.5 pounds that his opponent didn't. Money is not going to take that depletion away. Of course, it's of his purse, right? He's not fighting Conor McGregor.
Yeah, no, I get it.
No, he's not. You know, it's the purses are. That's what I'm saying. Because there's no fighters union either, there's no fighters like anything, like it comes down to their own individual contractual agreements, and a lot of these guys that are on the prelims are fighting for like 10, 5-5, whatever it is, 20-20 if they're lucky. So it's not a lot of money to begin with. So it's a point that needs to be brought up, not to shit on the guy for missing weight, because like I said, I always want to make sure that all the fighters are safe and healthy. I as long as that is, but I mean, if you just miss weight, you gotta make weight. It is what it is. You're a professional. But if it's a health reason,
I guess in that aspect, then every bout that misses weight, then shouldn't it be canceled more or less? Because on paper, technically, it's like, here's the thing. Well, not. I mean, because like, to play devil's advocate on
because now you're punishing the guy who made weight.
True. No, so I get it.
Make sure like the opponent was taken care of. And Izzy.
So then, what if you don't make weight?
Saying,
everything goes. 100% then.
If you just cancel the fight, your opponent should automatically get your show money. Should get his own show, your own show money.
Oh, okay.
Right, because you showed up. That's your contract. You get your own contractual show money. You showed up. You made weight. Right? You love to say it, but that's what it is. You showed up and you made weight. That's why they call it. You showed up and you made weight. We showed up. We made weight. We're here. We're the best. Right. So.
I mean, you said it, man. You said it, man. You said it, dude.
I'm just repeating what I heard from you.
Because to play devil's advocate, when you walk in on fight day, I mean, obviously both fighters, one missed weight, they're rehydrated. Yeah. So the difference on fight time and fight day, I guess, is not too. I guess is
less negligible.
Sure. I don't want to use the wrong wording,
but he depleted his body. He already did one of the hardest parts, and a lot.
So he didn't have to recover as much as the other guy.
He didn't have to strain his that's what I'm saying. There's just so much, just crushing. You basically are trying to kill yourself. Maybe not at 205. I don't know how his weight cut is, but typically these bigger boys aren't necessarily. Unless you're a huge.
So then maybe if the fight goes on, you only get money if you win. Like all of your money, if you lose, goes to the other person.
I like the arguments of because I don't believe the 20 or 30% of your purse is enough because it still keeps happening. I believe you can't just take a guy's show money because he still has to show up because that's part of showing. And that's why they have the 20%. Oh, you miss weight, it's 20% of your show. But it's not enough. Izzy said 80 or 90%. If you made it 80 or 90%, where they only get to keep 20, and they have, versus only giving up 20, they might stop. Oh shit,
take it more serious, yeah.
Because it's not just that. It's that 20% is for them. Now they got to pay their coaches and their nutritionists if they have, managers.
So there might not even be anything left for them at the end.
There'll be 30 cents,
Yeah. I mean, so to speak, a lot of fighter under your ass to take it a little bit more serious, So
I mean, I don't want to keep going on the weight, what to do about it issues, but it's
because you're right that these are the rules that we live in. This is this is what it is at the moment.
Sure, it's just a percentage of money, but it's because you agree with Joe with it being sanctioned cheating when both people make weight, when they make weight. Now that you have a fight where one person didn't make weight and one person did make weight,
it's even more invalid.
Now it's just even in your face, but it is what it is. He gets a little bit on the side. It's all good, player.
I see what you're saying.
It's just that's kind of what it feels like from an outside perspective. It's just so it's just I don't like watching fights. I hate rooting against anyone. I don't want to see any man fall. I have a hard time rooting for anyone who misses weight. I have a hard time rooting.
That's fair, especially when the other guy put in the work to fulfill his contractual obligations.
We don't know what's going on behind scenes. I really hope everything's well with him mentally, his family, everything. Because sometimes if your mind's not right and you can't, I don't know, when shit's just not right with your family.
Sure, of course.
I don't know. I wish all is well. All I am saying is, no matter what, as you know, what we've brought up before, doesn't matter what your profession is.
Business is business.
Business is business. Business as usual. And business as usual is what? Making weight. You have to make weight. So that's all I got to say on that fight. Unfortunately, I don't know if you have anything extra on that.
No, I'm more or less. Okay. I mean, I'm on the same page with you. You've already heard my casual thoughts on it, so.
I'm sure we'll bring it up again.
I'm sure I'll bring, say more dumbass comments and things. Yeah. No.
It's a conversation that needs to happen because there's too many fighters that are missing weight. Yeah. And not just from what we just brought up now, but everything we talked about before with.
I'm sure a lot of people out there have your perspective and have your way of thinking. I'm sure there's a lot of casual and people on my end that are thinking the same thing, but don't really want to be vocal about it. I don't really give a fuck. I like talking about it, and if I'm wrong,
just like having the conversation.
Yeah, I like learning, and of course, this is what this is about, just talking things out.
If you're gonna be a professional fighter, then you have to make weight. If you can't make weight, then we need to figure out what it is. So we'll continue with that. But there is, if you don't have anything else on that fight or the weight thing, there's only one other thing that I'd like to talk about before wrapping up is On this fight card, remember Alex Cowboy Oliveira? How you said it
Oh
was
yeah, isn't that bout canceled?
that bout is canceled. So his opponent got ill. Wish him all the best. Don't know what happened.
Wish him all the best.
I don't think that they will find him Cowboy a replacement, which would be
Doesn't look like it.
Pre-COVID times, they may have been able to do something a little bit more short term, and this is also kind of going not short term, like yeah, short term, and then like this is kind of going.
Oh yeah, because there's a lot of restrictions right now, so making things happen short term is harder. It's harder. Yeah, it's just harder. It is what it is. It's harder to think, you know.
But yeah, so we'll see. That sucks. That was actually the other fight that I was going to say was going to be my like dark horse fun fight of the night, because Cowboy Oliveira is always fun to watch. But
yeah,
that one's canceled, so I hope he's well. That sucks that it's canceled, but other than that, man, I have nothing else. I think this is a good little extra bonus clip wrap up the pre-show, and then come Monday at 10 a.m. we'll have our post-show to see how everything went and how the fights are and our reactions and how our verdict picks. See who won. See if you beat me this time, because you beat me last week. You got top 10, I got top 25.
I mean, it's all good. It was all fun, but you know, I mean, last fucking weeks before that, I got bottage 60. So, I mean, I get a little taste of, you know, the upstairs and the downstairs, if you know what I'm saying. So, I don't even know what I'm saying. You know. Hit him with the QWERTY Sanchez, you know. But yeah, I mean, we're on Twitter already live, so you know, feel free to engage with us at chidoMMA on Twitter. We're always posting, you know, fun little clips, banters, you know, things going on in the fights, commentary, ask questions. You know, we're on. So
we're broke as shit. So if you want to send us money so that we can upgrade our equipment, so that we can get better stuff to give you better quality, because we understand.
We can set up a GoFundMe. Do everything. Everything to me.
We need the ASMR microphones so that they're all really good, so that we don't sound like shit on our, you know, channel anymore.
It's Amazon headphones.
Yeah, but
they got lights, so.
All right, man.
Yeah, catch us on Twitter. Catch us on Instagram. chidoMMA, chidoMMAofficial. Catch you guys on the next one. See you guys after the fights. Bye.
See you, dude.
Because what we say is, you know, is right, is the best. We're the best.
It is right. It is the best.
We are the best. We made the weight. We showed up.
We are the best.
We're on camera, so we're champs. Okay. Thanks, guys.
Okay.